Hey folks, this is Gray here, and man, wasn't that amazing coming across that deer out there, man. It was just like, kind of gives credit to these e-bikes in regards to how quiet they are, you know? And it's a hot day, man. I had to switch clothes just because my other shirt is saturated. Anyways, while that dries off, we'll just wear this black shirt, which is even hotter than the other one. But I'll stop rambling now. Anyways, we're here today because the question is an electric bike or an e-bike an option for emergency transportation during natural disasters, during SHTF, and kind of questions like that. Now, doing my research in regards to the bike, and I want to give you some context. That's why I'm kind of having this conversation with you real quick before we get into the bike specs and kind of look over that, is that after doing the research and looking at a lot of emergency preparedness channels that have discussed e-bikes, it does make sense to me to have something like this that can actually be used for emergencies in regards to emergency preparedness. Now, is it something that everybody should go out and run and buy? That's totally up to you, folks. I'm just here to do the review. It took me several months to find a bike that to me fit the kind of specifications that I was looking for in regards to a e-bike. And the reason I chose this one is because of the size of it, the tires, the dual batteries and all that, but we'll go over that in the close-up look at the bike itself. So other than that, I don't want to keep on rambling because after we go over the bike, I'm going to give you just some random thoughts in regards to the bike and what I like about it, maybe what I not like about it. The biggest thing for me right now is it does make some rattling, some of the little things that I need to tighten up and kind of, you know, hush it down a little bit. Other than that, the function of the bike is really well. I'm a pretty hefty guy, so it did really well for me. Still topping at almost 30 miles an hour or whatnot. So after putting all that together, I'm very pleased with the choice that I made. And again, if anybody's interested, they do have a variety of bikes, this company here. And you can kind of click on the links in the description or the link. I'll do a pinned comment and whatnot. You can check out their website. They are having this big sale on these bikes if folks are in the market for something like this. Outside of that, let's get into the bike and kind of go over the specifications and how it looks and whatnot, folks. Other than that, we'll come back to me and then we'll wrap it up. All right, folks, so let's kind of go over different parts of the bike and whatnot, and some things that are truly a benefit to having a bike like this, specifically the tire size. These are 26-inch tires, and I don't know if you can see these here, but these are some huge. I got big hands. I mean, the camera does add about 100 pounds. So you got these huge tires with at least some decent tread on them and whatnot. So I do like that aspect. It comes with the lights. It is not an easy task to put together. The wife is really good at putting these things together, so I let her do it. And it took her about 30 to 40 minutes or so to put this thing together. I guess one of these days I should start recording stuff like that, putting stuff together. Anyways, so you got, let's go down here. You got some dual disc brakes here. You got your front disc brakes, and then you also have your rear disc brakes as well. That's your sprocket there, so that you have different forms, just like any other like mountain bike or whatnot. And you can see it's dirty. I've been riding it out here in the woods because that's what I would use it for. I do like these beefy shocks. It does help take off some of that as you're hitting some ruts and you know, all different types of material that you may be running over, little pieces of woods, rocks, and so on and so forth. It does have a frame shock as well down here. And then of course you got your two front forks that has shocks as well here and here. Now, that being said, of course you can adjust it with these knobs here on both sides. You can kind of play around with this. It's to me, I don't know what it truly does, as that I'm kind of a novice at e-bikes and whatnot, but I play around with it, and when it feels comfortable, it feels comfortable. You do got these nice little leather grips here, your bike handles here for your brakes, front and rear. And then of course, this is how you can push this down to go forward. If you push it down, it gives you, it's like a throttle there. And then of course you also have the pedal assist. Now, here's one thing I don't like. See these pedals? I feel like they could be more beefier. Let me show you my wife's pedals on her bike versus the pedals on this bike. They work fine, but I just feel like they could be a little bit more beefier. So these are the pedals on her bike, and I just kind of like the grip on these a little bit better. That's just, I guess, more of a preference thing, but that's hers. Another thing is that you can also put accessories on this. Now, there's ways to do accessories on this guy as well. but you would have to definitely do some modifications, which I've seen some folks do, because no one's going to sit back here, folks. I mean, I get the concept, but no one's going to sit back here. It's going to be a very uncomfortable ride in regards to that. You do got brake lights, so it is street legal in the aspect of, you know, you won't get in trouble because you got to have lights on your bike. Front headlamp there. I've added other headlamps to other e-bikes that are a little bit brighter that I get from other companies that work good for me. Let me go ahead and turn this thing on. This is basically going to be, I guess you would call this your control center. There we go. That's a good word for it. And it has various things on there to turn on your headlights and up and down and all that stuff like that. But we're going to go ahead and push the power on. When I push that, you'll see that screen light up. And it's pretty bright out here in these woods. You can see that sun that's kind of beaming down on us. And the screen is still very readable, which is nice. I've had this thing up to 29.4 miles an hour. They say you can get up to 30, but me being a big dude, probably not going to hit that. And that's with the pedal assist on there. That gives you your battery display, your speed. Now, as you go here, there's a function button here. And if you watch as I go through the push the buttons, it'll kind of give you my average speed, total distance on this ride here that we've been doing today on these tests. Distance, trip distance, you can reset all these settings so that you record that, and also gives you the power in regards to watts. And this will also give you the speed. So if you see that where it says 0, it means it's 0 assist. If I start moving that up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will give you max assist and max speed. So when you push that button there, it's going to give you that really top speed on that, pretty much. But if you want to just cruise around, I was told, you know, you keep it around 2 or 3 if you just kind of want to be like just a regular bike, or all the way down to 1 if you want. Now you can, of course, do that if you want to get just a little bit more out of it, cruising around the neighborhood or whatnot. But when I like to keep it around 3 or 4 when you're on like rough terrain, stuff like that over there, you know, just kind of going up and down these kind of grassy, woody trails. As you can see over here, don't mind the horse trough, but this kind of terrain, I kind of keep it around there to kind of give it a little bit more oomph to kind of get through some of the sugar sand and stuff like that. As you can see down here, this is some of the stuff that I'm kind of riding through. Thick grass, you'll see wood, pieces of wood, and just stuff like that. You never know. And down there, there's a lot of ruts down in there, in that area. Anyways, the seat is pretty comfortable. It does have a lot of locking mechanisms on here to lock it so that no one can steal the batteries and whatnot. It does come with a couple sets of keys that I didn't bring with me out here because I'll probably lose them, because that's just the way I am with certain things. Just because I need to like make a specific key ring for stuff like this. I got enough keys as it is. But that being said, so you see right here where it says 74%. If I come over here and I push this button, this is to turn on the additional battery that's in this seat that goes all the way down there. There's a battery there, and then in here there's a battery in there. So you get 2 batteries instead of a single battery with a lot of other e-bikes. So it gives this a lot more distance, and I like the fact that you can charge one outside of that by pulling that out and charging it via solar or something like that. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and push this button. First, we're going to look at that there. I think it says 75, 74. And I'm going to go ahead and push that button, and it's going to turn green. Well, I don't know if we'll see that on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see that green there. And that green is basically going to switch to the other battery. Let's see if it'll focus. And I'll be using that battery. Once the initial battery drops down, that battery will kick on outside of the battery, the main battery. As you can see, it's slowly kicking up because it's starting to read that other battery. And that will keep on going up as it's going to be drawing power from that battery all up to 100%. Again, if I turn that off, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now. You'll see it drop back down instead of continuing to go up. See, it's 86 now. If I let it just keep, it'll go all the way to 100. If I turn that off, you're going to see it drop back down. And then, like I said, it's a slow just because it's transitioning from one battery to the next. This battery I got down to about 70-some%. Anyways, all in all, you saw in the initial clips of me riding it and whatnot, I feel like no one wants to watch my belly jiggle around too much on these bikes. But it is relatively nice to ride. Again, this thing is a beast, as in the type of weight that it is. So let's kind of talk about how I would look at a bike like this in regards to emergency preparedness. All right, so how would I use a bike like this in regards to emergency preparedness and some of the benefits of having something like this? Well, one, with the batteries, you have an endless power supply. And what I mean by that, since it has 2 batteries, again, you can charge one, use one when you're, done for the day or whatnot, you know what I mean? Or I guess you couldn't do that during the day. If you had a power station, you could. And I thought about mounting a power station on the back of that thing because it does have the space. One of the small, like 600 watters or whatnot. See if I can charge the bike that way while it's sitting, and then keep the power station charged at camp during the day so it gets full solar. I don't know. You can take one battery out and also charge it depending on how you have your stuff set up. Second is the having the ability to not have to worry about gas and also the quietness of it. I don't know if you've ever been out in the woods in an area and there's motorbikes or four-wheelers or stuff like that. They're very, very loud. So if you're trying to be on a more of a covert kind of operational security kind of situation and you want to keep the noise level to the lowest possible, then yeah, this would be an option. Because just imagine, grid goes down, let's say worst case scenario, coronal mass ejection, EMP, something chaotic like that, right? Because we're talking about emergency preparedness here. And some people are going to ask, well, Gray, how is an EMP and all that stuff going to affect the bike? Well, we just never know. This is just hypothetical stuff that I'm talking about and things that I think of in regards to having something like that. Maybe you have a Faraday cage that you park all your vehicles in, or that you keep your batteries or electronics in and whatnot. There's nothing on the bike that's receiving a signal. There is small electronics, so I guess I could use a Faraday bag or something like that to protect that. But if the batteries aren't plugged into anything, like I said, it's more, we just don't know, you know what I mean? But in every apocalyptic novel that I've ever listened to or read, the cars that are running, right, going through the neighborhoods because no one else has cars. Most cars are just dead in the water, and cars all over the highways are just all dead, right? And as soon as someone hears a vehicle, of course, everybody's running to that vehicle because they want to take that vehicle, because no one wants to walk 100 miles or do the things that they need to do because they're not apt to walking that kind of distance. So, of course, that vehicle is going to draw a lot of attention, plus keeping the maintenance on the vehicle in regards to gas and all that jazz that comes along with that. So, also, when you're on a highway, and there was lots of, let's say, a Walking Dead scenario, or however you want to look at it, like, again, we're talking, I know we're going to get some interesting comments, but it's whatever. We're hypothesizing here that it would be easier, like if you see a motorcycle, let's say, we'll use Daryl Dixon for an example, kind of weaving in and out of traffic and stuff like that to kind of get through stuff. Of course, he's on a motorbike, so that you can hear that motorbike coming for miles and miles and miles, versus something like this is going to be a lot more silent, but you still have the capabilities of kind of going through things. And the bikes themselves are a lot quieter on paved roads or sidewalks or anything of that nature outside of, where I'm at in the woods. But I wanted to try it out in the woods because I rather take every back alley, back road, back trail, fire break, whatever I could to get to the places, because it's usually a lot quicker and less people, if no people at all. I've thought about how to rig this bike up with a firearm and some accessories and, my emergency bags and stuff like that, if I had to use this to kind of bug out with. So is it a bug out bike? Possibly, right? I mean, these are the things that we think of. But all in all, additionally from that, I do get enjoyment out of riding the bike itself. You know what I mean? Because me and the wife can get to places a lot quicker and a lot faster out on the trail. There's certain, like if we're looking to get 10 miles in, 15 miles in, just to get away from the hustle and bustle of life in the city, we can do that within a few minutes. We can travel 15 to 20 miles an hour down some of these back trails and get to certain spots and just be away from folks and do some camping. And then if I wanted to, check around the area, it's just easier to get things done. I don't know, folks. I'm really just giving you some of my ideas and thoughts as they come to my mind, because I'm kind of doing this right off the cuff, talking to you guys in regards to the bike itself. I would suggest, if you were to invest in something like this, maybe you could, give it a nice camo paint job, You could also do things of like make sure you have a tire repair kit and a tool kit and some spare parts, just like you would if you had a bicycle that you would use like a mountain bike or something like that. I know a lot more folks out there, there's more review videos out there in regards to doing recreational stuff with this, which you can, of course, in doing that, and there's a lot more places that are accessible to that. But let's say you had 20 or 30 acres and you wanted to attach something to this. I was thinking of like, what could I attach to haul water? Because water weighs a lot, or haul just wood and things like that from one spot to the next by using a bike like that. Now, a trike version of this would be great, more stability, and you could do a lot more with it. And I don't know, the possibilities are endless when you start thinking outside the box, right? But anyways, these are some of my thoughts, and I guess what I'm asking from you folks is, what are your thoughts? How do you look at these e-bikes? And there's so many varieties out there. I think this one is called, I'm going to try it, folks. It's ENGWE, so Engwe. That possibly the name. They got some really interesting names out there. There's Jason. There's a lot of different companies out there that I read up on and whatnot. But anyways, what are your thoughts in regards to an e-bike for emergency preparedness? Have you seen other channels, other emergency preparedness channels present e-bikes to you? And what did they share with you that made you think like, this might be a great opportunity or for something to add to the preps? Because they're not cheap. I guarantee you that. They're not, they can range anywhere from $600-700 up to, I saw one at, what is that place called? Bass Pro. It was like $5 grand. That blew me away. At that point, I'm thinking I could probably invest into something else. The price for this one, I'll throw it up on the screen. I'm pretty sure the company gave me some sort of discount code or something to add to that. I'll add that in the description as well as a pinned comment. As always, I suggest you guys check them out. This is not the only bike they have. They have a lot of different varieties that might work for you, lighter ones, more updated, different versions of it and whatnot. But all in all, I'm happy with the bike itself. Like I said, it's a beefy machine, and I like the fact that it has dual batteries. That was the thing, because I'm always about expandability, like with the power stations and whatnot. And I'm kind of going on a tangent here, rambling on as I usually do. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, 2 batteries is better than 1 battery. It gives me more distance, more capability, and whatnot. Other than that, the things that I mentioned, what would you use if you had an e-bike accessible to you? Let's say whatever disaster happens or whatnot, and there's debris all over the place, it is just a lot easier to use a smaller vehicle like a bike to get around on. But like, what ideas do you guys have that you could put down in the comments in regards to how would you use an e-bike in regards to emergency preparedness? From, let's say, small disasters in local areas to possibly hunting, trail riding, just exploring the woods, or an actual SHTF scenario. Outside of that, folks, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I probably ran this video long enough. Hopefully you guys stayed to the end. I truly appreciate that. If you got any value out of this video, I wouldn't mind the thumbs up. That would be truly appreciated. And if you're new here, take a chance, look at the rest of the channel. There's all kinds of stuff from gear reviews to emergency preparedness tips in regards to food storage and pantry ideas, gardening, and the list goes on. And of course, we have always some interesting live streams with Rudy the Alaska Prepper. Outside of that, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is Gray Man. I'm out. I'll see you guys in Rebound. God bless every single one of you folks out there, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video.